Welcome back to the deep dive. So if your desk, either the real one or the one on your computer, is just piled high with articles and papers and notes, you know the problem isn't finding information anymore.
Not at all. It's managing it. It's the sheer volume.
Exactly. It's just
Mhm.
too much. So our mission today is to, cut through some of that complexity.
And we've been looking at some really next generation tools for doing just that, for accelerating research and actually creating projects. We're focusing on two Google AI systems, NotebookLM and Gemini.
Right, and NotebookLM is sort of the research brain.
Yeah, it does the deep analysis, and then Gemini handles the, let's call it the sophisticated visual output.
But the real point of this deep dive isn't just to look at a list of features for each one.
No, the magic is in the synergy, how they work together.
We're talking about a genuine end-to-end workflow here, a two-step process that can take you from a mountain of source material to a finished professional presentation just so much faster.
It's an engine for efficiency, really. And to get it, we have to start at the beginning, phase one, the research phase.
Right.
That's where NotebookLM does all the intellectual heavy lifting.
The stuff that usually takes days.
Or weeks, yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack NotebookLM. The sources we looked at call it an AI research assistant, which sounds right. But the key is that it's not just, searching the web, it's analyzing your sources, the ones you upload.
And that's the critical difference. The scale and speed are just staggering. You can process hundreds of pages in a blink.
And it takes almost anything, right? Textbooks, business stocks.
Yep. Academic textbooks, research papers, news reports, even transcripts from really long YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It reads all of it at the same time.
Okay, let's use a specific example from the research to really get a handle on that scale. They call it the textbook test. So imagine you have this intimidating 500-page biology textbook. The topic is ecosystem dynamics. I mean, traditionally that's days of reading, highlighting, making notes.
Oh, easily. And then you have to synthesize all those notes into some kind of outline.
Right. But with NotebookLM, you just upload the whole 500-page PDF.
And you skip that whole initial step. You can immediately tell it what you care about. You can say, hey, compare the food chain structures, or list the biodiversity hotspots, or analyze the effects of climate change from this text.
And it just pulls those main ideas out for you.
Yeah.
Based only on the book I provided.
Instantly.
Yeah.
And it structures them. It's not just a summary, it's an organized extraction of the core concepts.
That feels like a fundamental shift in cognitive load. You're not spending 80% of your time just reading and organizing anymore. You get to jump straight to the analysis.
To the thinking part, yeah.
But I have to ask, if I'm not reading those 500 pages myself, am I missing the nuance? The little details that give you real insight.
That is the perfect question to ask.
Yeah.
And it gets to the heart of how you have to work with these tools. It's not reading for you. It's building the foundational layer for you.
Oh.
It finds the definitions, the connections, the supporting evidence from the text. Your job then shifts. You're not organizing anymore. You're challenging its organization. You're looking for gaps. You're connecting its output to the bigger picture.
So it's like an incredibly fast, efficient research assistant. It's handling the logistics of note-taking so I can do the higher-level thinking. That makes a lot of sense.
It does. And a really good tip from the sources, if you're just starting out, is to be super specific with your prompts.
Don't just say summarize.
Right. Tell it to organize the information into, say, numbered sections that match the outline you already have in mind for your report. The goal is immediate, usable structure.
Okay, so research phase complete. NotebookLM has given me this perfectly structured outline. Facts, figures, all pulled from my sources. So now we move to step 2.
The creation phase.
Exactly. And this is where Gemini comes in.
This is the handoff. NotebookLM is about understanding text. Gemini, on the other hand, is Google's multimodal AI, and it's all about turning that text into visual output.
Taking the raw research and making it look good, making it understandable.
Making it audience ready.
And when you say multimodal, that's the key term here. It means it's not just about text. It can generate images, charts.
All kinds of visual content. We're talking presentation slides, really detailed infographics, charts, timelines, even ideas for interactive displays. It turns these dense paragraphs into something you can actually digest visually.
Which helps with memory, with communication, all of it.
For sure.
Okay, so let's paint a picture with an example for Gemini. Say we give it a long list of data about the planet.
Yeah, orbital periods, size, distance from the sun, what the atmosphere is made of, all that raw data.
Normally, a researcher would have to open up some design software and spend hours making charts and graphics.
But with Gemini, it just processes that data and generates a whole colorful presentation. It can show the size comparisons visually, create charts for the distance metrics, highlight unique features, all from the raw facts you gave it. It does the graphic design part for you.
This immediately clicks for me thinking about the learner. I mean, if you're a visual learner, this is kind of a revolution, isn't it?
It's a total game changer. It bridges that gap between having the data and actually internalizing it.
And I'm guessing, just like with NotebookLM, the prompts you give it are really important.
Crucial. The sources say you should be very descriptive. Talk about colors, the style you want, the layout. Don't just say, make a presentation. Say, make a presentation with a modern dark blue and white theme, using a bar chart for comparison.
And there's a specific setting for this, right? A technical tip.
Correct. For more complex visuals, you want to activate Canvas mode in Gemini. It's basically a more flexible workspace that lets the AI handle more creative layouts and place elements just right so the final visual really matches the data you've extracted.
So now we get to the core idea from our sources, the synergy. The power isn't in one or the other, it's the sequence. LM reads and structures, then Gemini takes that structure and makes it visual.
Right.
So what does that handoff actually look like in a real project?
Okay, let's use a detailed use case. Imagine you have a big academic project on global climate change policy.
Okay. Step 1, research. I upload, 50 different documents into NotebookLM?
Yeah, peer-reviewed studies, government reports, news articles, hundreds, maybe thousands of pages of material.
And what's LM's job?
It's the chief organizer. You tell it. Go through all of this, find all the key statistics on temperature changes since 1950, and organize it all into 3 sections for me. Causes, effects, and solutions.
And it spits out a clean, concise summary with all that data perfectly sorted.
Exactly. So now, step 2.
Yeah.
Creation. You take that organized text, all nice and neat in its 3 sections, and you feed it to Gemini. And your prompt is, create a professional single-page infographic for a policy brief.
And because the data is already clean and organized,
Gemini can just run with it. It'll create a time series chart showing the temperature trends from the stats LM pulled. It'll lay out the bullet points on policy solutions cleanly. The complexity is just handled.
a project that could take 2 weeks of research and design might now take a few hours.
I think that's realistic, yeah.
Yeah.
It completely changes the playing field.
And this isn't just for policy papers. I'm thinking about history. You could upload conflicting sources about, say, the start of World War II, diaries, official treaties.
And LM would organize it all chronologically and by theme. Then Gemini could create an interactive timeline from that data, highlighting key dates, different perspectives, all synthesized.
Let's do one more complex example from the sources, ancient civilizations.
Okay. A student is researching the New Kingdom of Egypt. They upload 3 long archaeological reports.
Right, and they tell NotebookLM, extract all the facts about temple construction, royal burial practices, and government structure.
And out comes 3 clean, organized lists of facts. Then the student takes those facts over to Gemini.
And says what? Make me an infographic.
They can be more specific. Create a timeline of the prominent pharaohs, and next to it, include a visual comparison chart showing the size and features of the temples they built. All based on the data LM just gave them.
The amazing thing there is that the student didn't have to design the chart. They didn't have to fiddle with fonts and layouts. They just had to focus on the concepts. The tools handled the logistics.
That's it, exactly. And that's why this is so important for you, the learner. The sources point to 3 huge advantages. 1, time efficiency. Obvious. 2, a huge boost for visual learning and memory. And 3, you're building professional skills that are going to be the baseline expectation in the future.
Okay, this all sounds a little too good to be true, a research miracle, which means it's probably the right time to talk about the guardrails, the warnings.
Absolutely. If the tools are this powerful, they demand a higher level of scrutiny from the person using them.
And the researchers are very clear about this, especially when it comes to source quality.
This is the big one. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out principle.
Explain what you mean.
NotebookLM's job is just to organize what you give it. If you feed it biased articles, unverified junk, pseudoscience, it will organize those flaws perfectly and present them back to you as if they're fact.
It can't tell the difference between a peer-reviewed journal and a random blog post.
It has no idea. So your first job, your main responsibility, really shifts from reading every word to meticulously curating and verifying your sources before you upload them.
You have to check the ingredients before you bake the AI cake.
Precisely. Which leads right into the second warning. Critical thinking. These tools speed things up. They don't generate truth.
The output is a starting point, not the conclusion.
Right. Gemini might create a stunning infographic about temperature trends, but it's still your job to formulate the argument about what it means. It's your job to maybe even question the methodology of the studies you fed the machine in the first place.
You still have to bring your own analysis, your own conclusions. The AI gives you the building blocks, but you have to be the architect.
You have to build the argument, the thesis, the interpretation that have to come from you.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important point, academic integrity.
The sources are so clear on this. These are assistants. They are not a replacement for original thinking or learning.
And you still have to cite everything.
Everything. The responsibility for proper citation remains 100% with you.
So we've covered a huge amount of ground here. We've seen how this combination of NotebookLM and Gemini can just shortcut so much of the grunt work of research.
It lets you maximize the visual impact and the speed of your output.
It really moves you from that stage of just, repetitive reading and organizing and puts you right into the analytical application stage almost immediately.
Yeah, it redefines what it means to be prepared in an age where there's just too much information.
So if we bring this back to that idea of critical thinking, of being the architect, it leaves me with a pretty big question.
Go on.
Well, it's really a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay.
If the AI can analyze 500 pages in seconds and handle all that basic organization for you, what new, more complex level of questioning should you be spending your time on now?
Oh, that's interesting. What new hypotheses should you be generating now that the grunt work is gone? I mean, what specific biases might NotebookLM inherit if you only feed it sources from one single perspective? What higher cognitive bars should we all be setting for ourselves now that the basics are handled by the machine?